You should have done everything in your power to make sure that that fucking piece of shit did not leave the state after assassinating one of your constituents.
To our elected representatives, Democrats and Republicans, I beg you, I implore you to tell them to stay out of our schools. This tragedy will be magnified 100-fold if this fight moves into the hallways of our public schools amongst our youth. And they're watching us. They're watching us now, how we respond. So I've got a few simple asks. That's
literally the point. They want to do that, for the record. You can beg all day, but there's got to be more to it. The Democrats, the National Party, it needs to start demanding not just accountability, but serious considerations into the funding vehicles for ICE, even though many of them actually voted for it. I know this is a time for unity amongst the base, and it's a time for unity amongst the liberals. But if you're asking a question, okay, because I haven't really talked too much about the responsibility of the Democrats and how we got here, there is a lot of shit that they did wrong, whether it be the Lake and Riley Act or taking a fucking anti-immigrant, anti-migrant position in the election cycle leading up to the fucking election because they were truly fearful that everyone in America had become a fucking psychopathic right-winger. Okay? And I was there every step of the way fucking yelling. There are a lot of Democrats even right now that still take a right-wing position on ICE. That they take a position on ICE that's not like we must demand accountability, but instead it's like, oh, these are just guys doing their jobs. It's actually fucking ridiculous. So what they could be doing in this situation is not only demand accountability, but the National Democratic Party could actually try to freeze funding to ICE by way of Congress, or at least attempt to do so by making this a larger argument. Tim Walz, as governor, could try to direct the National Guard to protect the citizens. They could demand that the local police actually protect the citizens against ICE. There are things that they can always do. Radical things. Things that might actually even push for a constitutional crisis, but the point that we're at demands it.
The professionals handle this on Minnesota soil, this investigation. De-escalate this situation by removing yourselves from this situation with these 2,000 agents that were put here. And above all else, stay out of our schools. I'd like to ask you to care, but that might be a step too far for some people. But I know Minnesotans care. So we'll protest peacefully. We will win in courts. We will certainly win in the defense of our democracy because the American people see what's happening here. But the way that we don't win and the way that we lose, if this turns towards violence and allows them to escalate, it cannot happen. So I ask the grass top leaders out there, the faith leaders, the folks who are on the streets, and in many times the true leaders are not the elected officials. They're the folks on the ground. I beg you, implore you, follow those words of the leaders we've had. I had the privilege of serving with John Lewis. And John talked about good trouble. I'm not telling you not to find good trouble. But I asked John many times, I said, John, I don't know if I'd have your self-restraint. Didn't you want to lash out? And he said, yes, daily. But he said, I wanted to win this. I wanted to do what's right, and I wanted justice to prevail. And to do that, I knew the only way was to not lash out, to not give in to that. So to each and every one of you, we're not going to win this through violence. We're going to win it through justice. We're going to win it through compassion. We're going to win it through Minnesota Nice. And
So here's the problem. He would be right if the politicians were doing something. He'd be right. But the reason why people see that there are no options here is because of their inability to push for change. Their lack of interest in changing anything is the reason. You're the governor, man. What are we fucking doing? You got no power here at all, really? You should have done everything in your power to make sure that that fucking piece of shit did not leave the state after assassinating one of your constituents. Like, what are we doing? demanding that people don't lash out and making it up to be like they are the dude. Come on, this is what we got. The entire Minnesota school district is canceled school day tomorrow because ICE is attacking students and staff. Where the fuck is? Please tell me there's a video that's not sideways, dude. Come on, please. People would be fine with peaceful civil disobedience if peaceful civil disobedience accompanied changes. Okay? If the politicians don't actually do shit, then people recognize that they've run out of options. So yeah, nobody wants chaos. Nobody wants violence. Okay? Nobody wants chaos. Nobody wants violence. Nobody wants to see it. But it becomes an inevitability when you make peaceful resistance impossible, when you refuse to listen to the demands. You have to give people confidence that you got their fucking back, dude. Yeah, here's Border Patrol pepper spraying kids and pushing them into the snow at the local high school. First, they sent plainclothes white guys to terrorize daycares, targeting Somali and working class children. Now they're sending goons to terrorize schools.
Oh! These bitch ass niggas, bro.
That was a grenade. That was a tear gas grenade. Damn.
The problem is, none of these politicians are with it, dude. They're not. None of these politicians are fucking for it. They're not about that lifestyle at all. Let's be fucking real. I ain't seeing no politicians out there on the streets. I don't see them organizing. I don't see them putting their body on the line. I don't see that ever. I never, ever, ever see that. And that shit pisses me off.
Better tackle that football, bitch.
Guys, nobody's taking ISIS. They literally just killed someone.
Where kill you?
Guys, let's
Another fucking murderer!
You guys gotta go.
It's ridiculous, man. If you don't do anything, of course people are going to fucking... If people are left alone and they fear that there is no one coming to save them, they're going to take matters in their own hands. And if you sit here and fucking complain